Hi, my name is Carol Williams, and I'm here with Jennifer Tario today. We're here with Veterans Issues on CAN TV. We're in Chicago here on CAN TV, Channel 19, Channel 21, I should say. This is the nonprofit division of CAN TV. This is a live call-in show. We're talking about veterans and art. If there's any comments or questions, we have a person here on the phone to answer those questions. You have the phone number there on your screen, 312-738-1060. Our organization is to increase the representation of veterans in the arts community. And one of the ways that we do that is to come here on CAN TV once a month, and we feature a veteran who is also an artist. They don't have to be professional. They don't have to be in any particular art format. They are people who express themselves with any number of art forms. Today we have Jennifer Tario, who comes to us from very far north. She is up in McHenry, I believe.
Yes.
Jennifer is a Navy veteran.
Yes, I am. Yes.
And she is also from the Chicago area, yes?
Actually, no, I was born in Beech Grove, Indiana.
Oh, she's from Indiana. So those of you who can't see us in Indiana, where is Beech Grove, Indiana?
That is near mid-city Indianapolis.
Oh, okay. Oh, so you're really right smack in the middle of Indiana then.
Oh, yes. My parents currently reside in Avon, Indiana.
Well, how did you end up getting into the Navy?
My parents have my family has a long military history.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I watched my brothers grow up and, go into the military, and I see my father and I see my uncle and the long traditions and everything. And, I tried ROTC and I liked it. I liked the structure. And so, I went ahead and, went to boot camp and found it was my thing, and here I am.
And you picked the Navy for boot camp?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
I actually kind of did one of those things where you call up everybody, and whoever calls back first, you go with them. So.
And the Navy called back first.
Yes.
You have some poetry that you're going to bring in today, and one of those poems does have to do with your father having been in the military. We can get to that in a little bit. It's called Daddy's Shoes. I think it's something that a lot of people would definitely relate to. Your father was in the Navy, or was this all different military branches?
My family's been in all different military branches. From Air Force to Army. I'm not sure if anybody's been in the Marines yet, but I'm sure one of us will get there eventually.
Well, how long did you spend in the Navy?
I spent 4 years, 3 of which were all underway.
Under
on the ocean.
Oh, okay. So you were actually, I know we're not supposed to say you were on a boat because that's like
I was
the
on
worst
a
thing.
ship.
Okay. Probably not anything that I would ever be able to choose to do, being somewhat claustrophobic. I can't imagine. I really can't imagine that.
It's like I wasn't claustrophobic then, but I am now. But, it's kind of like going to bed every night in your own coffin.
Wow.
You
That's
have
heavy.
your own little box, and you have about this much space in front of your nose, and, it does. It gets a little space,
Right.
Spacious use. But.
And then you got out of the Navy, and now you're living up in northwest area of Chicago.
Yeah.
We would like to hear some of your work. Jennifer told me that what she does is she writes. I'm not sure when you started writing. You could tell us a little bit about that. But she writes, and then she binds it together in a format, and essentially you kind of distribute it as kind of an independent soul. Just put it out there and let people experience your part of the world.
Oh yeah, this is something that I don't want to make any money off of. I've always enjoyed writing from a very young age. I had a lady that lived next door to us who had MST, and she was very bad off, but she was very much into poetry, and she really kind of got me started writing, and she actually let me write a couple poems, and she made a book.
Oh, wow.
And you know, I was always very good in the area of English and everything, and I actually started writing when I was underway, just because it was something to take your mind off of what was going on, and you know, you could write about things that you couldn't tell anybody else.
Exactly. Jennifer, one of your poems called The Dive, I really liked because, and if we have a chance, I'm sure we will, we'll have you read that. But in this poem, you talk about essentially your experience seeing underwater. And not only do I see what you see underwater, but I also experience you seeing what you're seeing underwater. And it gives me not only a view of what you're seeing, but also of your experience that, wow, this is kind of mind-blowing, you know. And so I see the human being along with what's underwater, which it was part of the reason why I really liked that one. It was very descriptive. I heard Jennifer recite one of her poems when we were up in Lovell, VA, up in North Chicago. They have a program called the Expressive Arts Therapy that is a fairly large program. It's not recreation therapy, but it's a fairly large program, and every Friday, I believe it is, they have a some kind of a get-together where people can put out what they've done.
It's in an alumni meeting. Basically, it's run by the SDTU for the Post-Traumatic Stress Disorder Program, which isn't recognized enough throughout the United States from our soldiers. And basically, it's showing our soldiers coming back from war that there are ways to cope with our problems. There's ways to get it out, and that we are good for something other than, you know, what we thought we were good for. Or, you know, there's ways of getting out the pain, you know, and this happened to be my way, but there's so many other talented artists in that program.
There are, but I would like for you to read, if that's okay with you, the poem that I heard you read at Lovell, called Old Soldiers.
Okay.
This is Jennifer Tario, and she is going to read from her work. She's going to start off with something called Old Soldiers.
Okay, so this is Old Soldiers. Old soldiers never die. They just go to hell to regroup. But for most soldiers, war is so bad that hell seems like heaven after combat. These soldiers come back to fight some more, only to find out there's no longer a war. Finding only pain and misunderstanding, finding life stressful, confusing, and demanding, trying to make peace to settle the score, just for the chance to knock on heaven's door.
That's Jennifer Tario, who is reading Old Soldiers, which is what I heard you read up at Lovell. And I was really, first of all, I was really, you know, taken aback because you said that they go to hell to regroup. And I thought, wow, what are the rest of the people in this room thinking? I mean, I already know what I'm thinking, which is this is a good good exercise in expressing what you think. And I just was amazed that no one else seemed to be taken aback, which is kind of the point of it all, is that if that's what you want to say, and obviously there's a lot of other things that you'd like to say, that you're able to do that.
And, you know, when I do go in there, and I do recite poetry every Friday at these alumni
Really?
meetings, and I sing.
Really?
Yeah. And I'm a very big fan of your music, by the way.
Oh, well, thank you. I should have brought some. I should have brought it.
You know, I occasionally sing. I'm not the greatest, but I do. Every Friday, I try to make it to those alumni meetings to see the other artists and to enjoy their great music, because I find that other people's talents make me a little bit more optimistic towards my own talents and help me write better. So, you know, it's kind of like it's a healing process. We all get together, and it's the same people and families, and you know, you get the dogs in there, and it's just it's a wild kingdom, and everybody has a good time. And
Do you mean literally you get the dogs in there?
yeah, they bring in the
therapy
dogs.
Right.
Yeah, they bring in the therapy dogs. It is wonderful. And Dr. Bair, you know, he is just he runs that group, and I'm
Right.
telling you, he is the best. He's the best one.
At getting things out of people.
Him
Yes.
and Dr. Peterson,
Uh-huh.
you know, setting all that up was and Karen, it was a great idea.
Well,
Great
do
idea.
you think that you could find another one that you are going to recite? And while you're looking for what you want to read, I'm going to show our overhead, which is our organization. This is a United States Veterans Art Program. Our website is www.usvap. We're going to hear again from Jennifer Tario. This is called, what are you going to read at this point? We're going to read Boats.
All right, so this is Boats. When I was in the military, just for a precursor as this, my rate was a boatswain's mate. And so it was a very harsh rate. And so, you know, this is just kind of my last stand poem.
Okay.
So, called Boats.
This is Jennifer Tario reading Boats.
I worked hard when I was in the Navy. I picked one of the hardest rates of all. Boatswain's mate was my rate. I'd work until I'd fall. The boys thought I was a joke, a girl on a man's rate, but soon they realized more and more I could carry much more weight. I never slept, I always watched and worked harder than the men. That was the only way to get respect in my rate and a role as a woman. If I cut myself, I would not cry, just carry on and bleed. Jet fuel soaking in my wounds, I still stood and took the lead. That's the kind of boats I was. I really didn't care. As long as my job was done right, my body didn't care. So call me Boats, I earned that name. It's a sign of deep respect. It shows me that I'm not a wave, but a hard-working soldier who would have fought until her death.
That's one of your poems from the book that you put together called Boats. This is Jennifer Tario reading from her own work. And when you say it's a rate, that's your rank. Yeah, that's your MOS, your rank,
Yes,
right?
yes, that is
Okay.
my MOS.
For any of you who are out there, I think we did have a caller. I'm not sure if they have a question for us today. I would like to ask anybody out there who's listening, we never really know who's out there, go ahead and give us a call if you have comments or questions, 312-738-1060. Is there a possibility that you could find us another poem to read? Jennifer mentioned something as an acronym in a couple sentences ago. She mentioned an acronym called MST. For those of you who are watching and don't know what MST is, that stands for military sexual trauma. Military sexual trauma is considered a subset of PTSD, if I can say it that way. It is a specific reaction to sexual trauma, either physical or sexual harassment in any of its forms. If you don't know anything about it, you might want to start learning, because it is an epidemic in the military at this point. It's something that we all need to be concerned about. This is Jennifer Tario is going to read another one of her poems, and I don't know. Oh, it's called Anxiety.
Yes. But to kind of go on piggyback with that as well, the MST is not just about the women.
Yes.
It's, everybody thinks that this problem is just happening to the women. It's happening to the men as well, and I think that needs to be looked at as well. And
Emphasized.
everybody thinks all these poor women, but it's happening to everybody. It's not just one or the other.
So you're saying that to look at it as just being a woman's problem just victimizes women even more?
Yes. I think that it should be looked at as both.
So we're going to read one more poem before we have to quit for tonight. This is Jennifer Tario. I think we've got just enough time for one more, and I'm going to show you our website information. This is the United States Veterans Art Program, www.usvap.org. We have email at admin, admin, at usvap.org. I think we'll go ahead and read the Anxiety poem. And here we are, and after that we probably need to wrap up and let the next folks come in.
It's called Anxiety. My anger gets the best of me. My dreams are not what I want them to be. My life is strange, and people scare me. Anxiety sometimes takes over me, so I learn to breathe for me. That is the only way I will be free.
Thank you, Jennifer. I really appreciate you coming in. I wish we had more time to read more of your information in your poems. And we are going to sign off until next month when we are here, United States Veterans Art Program. Thank you so much, Jennifer Tario.
Thank you. Hi, Mom and Dad and family.
Thank you.